to Indianapolis, everyone, and what's on the line today? How about everything as far as Jacksonville is concerned? They clinched the AFC South with a victory over the Colts. Indianapolis needs a win here today and 2 more wins in their final 2 games to clinch the AFC South. The Colts have won the toss. They will get the football first. Josh Scobie getting set to kick it away for Jacksonville. And deep is the once former Colt and now a Colt again, Dominique Rhodes, who until very recently was a member of the Florida Tuskers of the UFL. Talk about a change of venue. We're underway. Rhodes from the 4. And he won't make it back to the 20-yard line. He's brought to a stop at about the 18. That means the Indianapolis offense, led by Peyton Manning, who's taken his lumps lately. Guess what? 26 touchdown passes, more than 4,000 yards throwing with 3 games still to play in this regular season.
Well, we mentioned that Austin Collie is back. You see number 74 there in your picture, Charlie Johnson, the left tackle. He was a question mark as to whether he was going to be able to start today. He's got a banged up chest, so let's see how he holds up. Manning needs all the protection he can get.
Manning gets Austin Collie back and available today. His first pass outside to Collie, and that's complete and out of bounds. The Colt offensive line centered by the steady and dependable Jeff Saturday out of North Carolina. And injuries at the running back position to Adai and Hart make them spectators today. Second-year man Donald Brown starts at running back. 5-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 5 from the 23. Little flip to Donald Brown. Brown right at that first down marker, maybe just a little bit short.
Well, when we talked to Peyton Manning, one of the things he said was, I need my backs to win some one-on-ones in the passing game. And that's exactly what Donald Brown did right there. He made Considine miss, and he got the yardage to get him really close to a first down.
3rd and 1. Brown is in the backfield. Brown gets the handoff. And appears to be right at that first down marker.
Well, this spot is critical here. You can see Del Rio doesn't think he's got it. And again, that's been a real issue for the Colts. And you only need a yard, and a question as to whether you were able to hammer it out.
Mike Carey is going to call for the measurement. Mike Carey is our referee today.
Well, you know you're in good hands if Mike Carey is doing the game. He's one of the best.
Now he says, yeah, looks good to me.
Yeah. Well, the nose of the football is across the yard marker, so good enough for Mike Carey, but he's one of the best officials in the game.
So new set of downs for Manning and the Colts at their own 28-yard line. Quick pass to the near side, and this is Austin Collie again, and Collie out across the 35. The very young front 4 for the Jaguars. Jeremy Mincey has 5 quarterback sacks. Terrence Knighton right behind him with 4. Kirk Morrison steady in the middle linebacker slot. Russell Allen starts for Justin Durant. And strong safety Courtney Green did not make the trip. Sean Considine starts for him. This is Brown. Maybe to the 39.
And again, it looks like even though it wasn't spectacular, it was enough to move the chains. There's a lot of quality football players lined up on the defensive line here for Jacksonville. Very, very young, but man, what an upside these guys have.
Manning with time. That's complete to Garcon. And Garcon hit. Forward progress is going to be marked at the 44.
Well, Peyton told us that not having Pierre Garcon in the first Jacksonville game was a real handicap. But you can see right now the way Jacksonville wants to play this. They're going to sit back in the zone, let them catch it underneath, and then make the tackle.
To the ground game, and Brown breaks up the middle. 30, 20. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. Sean Considine tracked him down from behind. but not before he picked up 49 yards.
Well, this crowd in Indianapolis can't believe that they actually just watched a long run by this offense. But look at the hole. What tremendous blocking, and then Considine can't make the tackle. And Sean Considine has struggled making tackles in the last couple of weeks. And look at the stiff arm by Brown, and let's hold hands for a while. And let me tell you, tackling a glove is not tackling the ball carrier. Sean Considine tackled his index finger, not the player.
That's Don Carey, the safety on the field. We'll check on him when we come back. Number 22, Don Carey, was the Jaguars shaken up on that play. He has been replaced for the moment by Michael Hamlin. And the Indianapolis Colts, as you see, the opening drive, touchdown 3 of the last 5 games against these Jaguars. First and goal.
Now, boy, does the game change for the Colts if they can run the ball even moderately effectively. They're doing a lot more than that so far.
That 49-yarder, the longest Colts run of the year and the longest of Brown's career. Manning throwing, corner of the end zone, touchdown.
And listen to this crowd cheer Austin Collie.
Austin Collie's 7th touchdown catch of the season, and what a way to come back to the active roster.
Well, look at Collie. He gets a nice clean release off the line and then working against a blown coverage by the Jaguars. That's all you can say about that. And defensively, what a miserable start to this game for the Jacksonville defense.
The Indianapolis Colts go 82 yards in 8 plays in just over 3.5 minutes and grab the early 7-0 lead. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Stadium. 82-yard drive culminating in the touchdown pass to Austin Collie. And these Colts, once they get into the red zone, Dan, are absolutely lethal.
Yes, they are. They are outstanding, second best in the NFL.
Deji Karim, a couple of yards deep in his own end zone. Tripped up as he crossed the 15 and forward to about the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown play.
Well, as usual, Austin Collie is going to be in the slot. Here he is right here. But here's the 2 Jacksonville defenders. The corner here, as he comes out here, is going to turn Collie over to the safety. And guess what? Considine, the safety, isn't expecting him. You can see Considine is 4 yards behind him. That is just a blown coverage. I'm not sure if it was Middleton up front or Considine from behind. One of those guys blew it.
On first down, Maurice Jones-Drew for about 3 or 4. David Garrard, the quarterback, has been terrific for the Jaguars. His 20 touchdown passes has tied Mark Brunell's mark back in '98 and again in 2000 for the most in a season in franchise history, and he's also run for 4 TDs.
Well, he's really grown to be very, very effective. You know, David, again, though, his game is so much built around movement, the tender hamstring. It's a real story to follow today.
2nd and 6. MJB again. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him a yard. Brad Meester anchors an offensive line that has to shut the door on the Colt pass rush and open holes for the running game today. And we'll see how Maurice Jones-Drew is affected by that sore knee. Number 2 in the league in rushing. He's rushed for more than 100 yards in 6 straight games. And we talked at the beginning of the day, Dan, about how few times the Jaguars go 3 and out. They're looking at a 3rd and 5 here.
Right. And their go-to guy has become Mercedes Lewis, their tight end, number 89.
Garrard hit at the 20-yard line by Robert Mathis.
Well, Robert Mathis on the left-hand side, number 98, doesn't go down from the cut. And look at the way he launches himself at David Garrard. And there is a helmet-to-helmet contact there at the end. No flag was thrown. But Robert Mathis just did a Superman act.
Pretty poor kick, gets a pretty good bounce and covered inside the 40-yard line. Peyton Manning coming back. The Jacksonville Jaguars, only the 13th 3-and-out. That's the fewest in the National Football League by far. Peyton Manning, 5 out of 5 on that opening drive. And by the way, that run by Donald Brown, the longest Colts run since 2004. Manning flips it out here for Jacob Tamme. And Tamme out across the 40 to about the 43 or 44-yard line.
And again, take a look at the Colts there. They're not in they've run the ball quicker than this in terms of getting to the line and operating, but Peyton Manning is leaving a lot of time on the play clock. He's trying to wear out the Jaguars early.
Good pass to Reggie Wayne. Wayne escapes a couple of tacklers, crosses the 45, and looks to be about half a yard or so shy of a first down.
I mean, we've seen the Colts operate faster than this, but that last snap occurred with 25 seconds left on the play clock. I think Peyton Manning
has a dinner reservation somewhere.
Well, maybe he does. I think this might have a little more to do with just trying to establish a tempo that maybe they can't, Jacksonville's uncomfortable with. Now he's letting a little more go off of it this time. One thing about him, he's so unpredictable.
3rd and 1. Dominique Rhodes is behind him in the backfield. Gonna throw it on the slant. Reggie Wayne, first down, no. Incomplete. Wayne couldn't hold on. He thought he did at the 45 of the Jaguars.
It almost looked like at the end of it, Reggie was reaching out with the football, trying to stretch it. But as you can see, well, he might have put that ball away and then hit the ground, but it did come out, and we all know the way it works now. We all know the way it works now. You've got to hit the ground and maintain possession of the football after you hit it.
You have to practically take it home with you, don't you?
Almost.
McAfee comes on to kick it away for the Colts. Mike Thomas is deep for the Jaguars inside his own 10. High kick. Thomas will let this one bounce. And the Colts will down it inside the 20-yard line. 7:54 to play. First quarter. Must-win game for Indianapolis. They lead it by a touchdown. Welcome back, everyone. It has been a while since Jacksonville can say they were division champions. Since 1999.
Keep in mind, that was the old AFC Central.
On first down, Maurice Jones-Drew wrapped up as he crossed the 20-yard line by Pat Angerer, the rookie out of Iowa. Speaking of angry, James Brown in New York. JB.
Hey, I was trying to moderate the anger, Greg. Take a look here. New Orleans has won 6 straight, trying to clinch a playoff spot with a win and some help. Good start there. Nice grab by Jimmy Graham from Drew Brees. 18-yarder. Caps a 7-play, 45-yard drive. 7-0 Saints over Baltimore. Greg Gumbel and Dan Dierdorf.
All right, JB, thank you. Picked up a 3 for Maurice Jones-Drew. Makes it 2nd and 7, and Garrard going to throw. On the move, throws, and incomplete. That came close to being picked. Mike Thomas was the intended receiver. Jacob Lacey was zeroing in on it on the near sideline.
Oh, and now what do we have coming up? Listen to the crowd. They know what's going on here. 3rd and long. Check it out now.
Over the middle and caught across the 35-yard line, and a flag comes flying in. Mike Thomas pulled it in. And let's check the penalty.
Well, they might get Aaron Francisco for coming in late on a receiver that was stood up in the old defenseless position. You're not allowed to take a shot at a guy after he's already caught up and standing in a crowd.
Here's Mike Carey.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, a blow to the head on the defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Well, there's a crowd of Colts around. Nice catch right there. But now once he stood up and then coming in, they're calling it a blow to the head, but I don't think I'm assuming that it was on Francisco coming in late, even though it wasn't a blow to the head.
But you know, the penalty marker almost beat Francisco to the play.
Yeah, so I wish he would have identified which player it was against.
On first down, Jones-Drew trying to spin out of trouble and spins to about the 43 of the Colts.
That's the problem when it's just against the defense as a whole. You're left to, and Francisco I thought was late coming in, but then I agree with you. It almost looked like the flag. That was great anticipation, throwing a flag if it was on Francisco.
Coming up on 6.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. The officials say it was on Francisco.
Well, then that's just a late hit. It wasn't to the head, but it was late.
Jones-Drew to the 41. Dan Muir making the stop for the Colts.
Well, one thing early in this game is that the Jaguars are having a tough time getting Maurice Jones-Drew loose. He's carried the ball 5 times, but not even for 3 yards of carry.
And now Garrard and the Jaguars looking at a 3rd and 4. And once again, Rashad Jennings into the backfield on 3rd down.
Garrard moves so well. I move him out of the pocket.
Penalty marker down as Jennings is spun down at the 40-yard line. And Garrard goes right to Mike Carey to plead his case.
And Eric Foster was in the Jacksonville backfield. The Colts are certainly acting like this is on Jacksonville.
Robert Mathis thinks it's a holding call.
There was no foul on the play, therefore no play, 3rd down. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, I have to say that's a little surprising that's going to cause a replay of 3rd down. I thought the penalty marker flew after the ball was snapped.
Well, Mike Carey is insinuating, or what he's saying is that the whistle blew and there was no play. This is very rare to see something like this, where you see a play played all the way out and then all of a sudden you're told it didn't count.
Jim Caldwell is arguing the fact that this should be 4th down.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking for anything right here. I mean, the only way a play doesn't happen is if, like, there's a false start or something like that.
No foul on the play, therefore we're playing 3rd down.
Well, Mike Carey again just said no foul on the play. We're replaying 3rd down, but well, I'm perplexed.
Nevertheless, 3rd and 4 from the 41. Garrard going deep, has a man open. It is incomplete at the 10-yard line, intended for Mike Sims Walker. And Justin Tryon, who is in at the starting quarterback position for injured Kelvin Hayden, was there, and Sims Walker is down.
Well, Sims Walker is open by a couple of yards, and by the time the ball gets there, Tryon, who had no idea where the ball was, he's playing the receiver, is able to get right up into the grill of Mike Sims Walker, who's still down on the play.
Watch his right foot right there.
Yes, he landed very awkwardly on his right leg.
5:01 to play in the first. Well, while Mike Sims Walker is having that right foot looked at on the sideline, out on the field, Jack Del Rio has determined that his Jaguars are going to go for it on 4th and 4 at the 40-yard line. Gerard over the middle, and he's got his man inside the 30-yard line, complete to Jason Hill.
Boy, that's only the third catch of the year for Jason Hill, who didn't even sign until late November. And look at this bullet from David Gerard right between the 8 and the 3, and Justin Tryon not able to get in. He's in a chase position, and a perfectly thrown 4th down pass from David Gerard.
David Gerard couldn't speak highly enough of young Jason Hill in our meeting with him last night. Gerard throwing to the outside, and that's complete to Mercedes Lewis, and Lewis fighting his way just inside the 20-yard line. Gary Brackett and Justin Tryon dragging him down.
Well, we saw that right there, that look of Brackett walking next to Mercedes Lewis. Gary Brackett listed at 5'11". No way. Gary's shorter than that. And Mercedes Lewis is 6'6" and looks taller than that. This guy, Mercedes Lewis, is going to be a premier tight end in this league for the next 5-6 years. He has really come on.
On 2nd and 4, it's Maurice Jones-Drew wrapped up for maybe a yard to about the 18. Fili Moala, the defensive tackle out of USC, making that play.
And Peyton Manning, he knows that these Jaguars keep the football, and he knows that his opportunities are probably going to be fewer than they are in a normal game situation.
3rd and 2. 5 wide receivers, and now Maurice Jones-Drew moving back to the backfield. Jones-Drew, 1st down inside the 15 to about the 13.
Well, there has been a really nice mix and match setup going here by Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, and that time a nice little off the left guard, the passing formation, and they run the ball out of that. Again, though, I haven't seen an explosiveness yet out of Maurice Jones-Drew. He's got the bad knee. You wonder if you'd like to see him break a tackle and know he's all the way back.
This time he tries the right side, inside the 10, inside the 5, and dragging Colts to the 1.
Well, I said I'd like to see it, and I just saw it.
Ask it, ye shall receive.
Yep, there we go. That's the Maurice Jones-Drew that we were expecting. That's what the healthy Jones-Drew looks like. Jordan Black out front getting a good block. Lewis gets a good block. And right there, the finish. That's what Maurice Jones-Drew, so powerful from the waist down, the way he finishes. And that was a good job by Antoine Buffet of getting underneath his pads, but he still got dragged for a couple.
On 1st and goal, Maurice Jones-Drew didn't get there. Eric Foster was the first to hit him.
Now keep in mind on this drive, we had a free play, a redo of a down. We also saw Jacksonville convert on a 4th down with an outstanding pass from David Gerard.
And you thought we'd be bored here today.
Oh, yeah.
No stranger bunch against the Colts.
Yeah, no stranger to the end zone.
MJD tackled back at the 4-yard line by Gary Brackett.
Well, there's actually a negative run. And of all the defenses in the league where maybe it doesn't pay to try to bounce it to the outside, it's one that's as fast as his Colts defense. And what an outstanding job of selecting his alley and then committing once he's going to go for it. Gary Brackett drives upfield, and that was just outstanding work by the middle linebacker.
And you could see Brad Meester just couldn't get to him in time to prevent the tackle. 3rd and goal. Remember, Gerard can run.
There's a false start. Looked like Eugene Monroe, the left tackle, twitched.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty, first play down.
And credit that to the crowd noise. Eugene Monroe, just a second-year player. Man, you get down on that goal line, you can't. The noise almost becomes like a physical thing. And once the crowd knows they got a guy to false start, they'll really let it go now.
And they'll have to hold it till the start of the second. Dallas Clark applauds. We've come to the end of one here at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts lead it. Jacksonville threatening. We're coming back to Indy after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We've changed ends of the field and we're ready to begin the second quarter here in Indianapolis with Jacksonville looking at a 3rd and goal from the Colts' 9-yard line. They were as far as the 1. Penalty, negative run is backed up to the 9. Throwing outside, complete, and inside the 5 is Rashad Jennings, but he comes up short of the goal line by about 3 or 4 yards. And that'll bring the field goal unit on. Pretty good defensive stand by the Colts.
Yes, it was. And that time, good pressure. They brought an extra rusher. It was a 5-man rush. Gerard had to get rid of it, and again, that's the way the Colts play football. Let it all happen in front of you and make the tackle.
Josh Scobie from 22 yards out. And it's good. 14-13 to play here in the second quarter. 7-3 Colts. Dominique Rhodes awaits the kick from Josh Scobie. And Rhodes will have a chance to run this one from 2 yards deep in his own end zone. 15. And just across the 20, and late penalty marker flies.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 10. 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. First down.
So that'll back the Colts up. And let's go back to this play that you and I were wondering about there.
Yeah, we told you we were perplexed. Look at number 75 there on the upper left of your screen there. That's Eugene Monroe. He appears to false start. This was that 3rd down do-over. Mike Carey, the referee, called a false start. After consultation with some of his officiating crew, they talked him out of it. So because he had thrown a flag for a false start, that eliminates the play ever occurring. That's why we ended up with a do-over. You don't see that every day.
Meanwhile, on first down, that pass to the far side of the field is incomplete, intended for Reggie Wayne. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Colts.
You know, when you call a false start, as it turned out, looking at it really closely and in really slow motion, Mike Carey appeared to be right. And then somebody on his officiating crew talked him off of it.
Second and 10 from the 7. Heading with time, near side of the field, complete to Garcon. Brought up short at about the 21-yard line, but enough for a first down. And with that, we whisk you away to James Brown in New York.
And thank you for the whisk there, Greg. Take a look here at this whisk play. Joe Flacco capping a 9-play, 76-yard drive there to Ed Dixon. He takes it 34 yards to pay dirt, all tied at 7. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deardorff.
All right, JB, thank you. Meanwhile, back to the action here. Now to the 25-yard line as Donald Brown. Darrell Smith makes the stop.
Well, Greg, at some point in time here, Peyton Manning is going to go up top. Almost everything he has thrown has been underneath. He's got 8 completions for 52 yards. That's a little over 6 yards of completion. He's going to catch the napping and stretch the field.
On the inside for the catch is Reggie Wayne. Wayne has the first down to the 39.
And this, you almost get the feeling that the setup is in play here right now. All this stuff underneath. Now he's taking the wide open spaces that Jacksonville is giving him underneath. But you know he's dying to get behind one of those safeties.
This will be the ground game. The down is Brown. Running hard with a 45. Pickup of 6 on the play.
Now the Colts will run play action whether or not they're running the ball effectively or not. That doesn't change one thing with their play action game. But it is better if you've had some success running the football, and they have so far.
On 2nd and 3, quick pass to Tanny. Across midfield to the 46 of the Jaguars. And the Colts collecting first downs now like they collect snaps.
Well, and again, that's what the Colts do. They have more 10-plus play drives than any team in the league. They score more off long drives than any team in the league.
Connor Brown, maybe 2 yards. And you can see that the pace offensively is just the way Peyton Manning likes it.
Yes, he controls it. Talk about, you know, some people are control freaks. Number 18 might be at the top of the list.
On the slant, Garcon to the 35. That will be enough for another Colt first down. And Peyton Manning says, let's get right back at it.
And boy, are they executing and catching the ball. I've only seen the one drop, and that was Reggie Wayne, where they did move. They had a 3 and out because Wayne wasn't able to hold on to the football. But Peyton is delivering, and his guys are catching it.
Manning already 11 of 13 for 82 yards. And he gets smashed at the 45-yard line by Darrell Smith. And with that, back to James Brown in New York. Gibby.
All right, the Giants can clinch a playoff spot with the win, as you well know, Greg, and some help. Take a look here at Eli Manning hooking up with Mario Manningham. 35-yard pass play, capping a 9-play, 71-yard drive, 7-3. Giants over the Eagles. Greg and Dan.
You will recall the Giants played Michael Vick and the Eagles very tough the first time they met this season.
Yes, they did. Their defensive line did a fantastic job.
Dominique Rhodes into the backfield on 2nd and 18. Manning on the move, far side of the field. Got his man inside the 25-yard line. Austin Collie has come back to active play with a vengeance today.
Well, you have a negative play like a sack, and poof, it's like it never even happened. Again, Austin Collie, he's so excited to be back on the field. And again, he's working against that Jacksonville zone, and the Colts are finding holes all over the field in that defense.
Manning up to 103 yards on the day, and we get penalty markers flying and a false start. Yeah, Kyle DeVan, the left guard.
False start, offense number 66. 5-yard penalty is still first down.
Well, nobody's going to talk Mike Carey out of that one. That false start is sticking, and again, you're the home team. You're not having to deal with the crowd noise. That's when, as an offensive lineman, you jump. You're very, very unhappy with yourself.
Not to mention others.
Well, you have a whole lot of people unhappy with you.
1st and 15. Manning up the seam. Collie, touchdown.
Austin Collie suffered that concussion November the 7th against Philadelphia. And if you're a Colts fan and a Collie fan in particular, you, with everything he's had to deal with to fight back, to come back from that concussion, you've got to really be happy for him. I know no one in Jacksonville is happy for him, but this is quite a little comeback we're watching today by Austin Collie early in this game.
5 catches for 68 yards. That's his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. And the extra point is good. 9:51 to play in the first half. Manning, 2 TD passes to Collie, 14-3 Colts. One of those patented Peyton Manning engineered drives. 11 plays, 92 yards.
Overcame a false start and overcame a sack on that drive.
And it looked like they really bothered him, didn't they? Deji Karim trying to get the Jaguars some decent field position with this. On to the 20. And down at the 25-yard line. Maurice Jones-Drew will be looking to kickstart the Jacksonville offense after this. Play fake to Jones-Drew. Garrard off the hands of Lewis. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Oh, he had Mercedes Lewis out there in space and a chance to maybe break a tackle and make something happen. But David Garrard, that throw just got away from him a little bit.
How about the weight loss Mercedes Lewis has gone through since week 3 of the season?
Yeah, he just went on a diet. He said he was drinking most of his calories, and he's gone from 275 down to 254 pounds.
That is a mean, lean 254.
Oh, what a good-looking football player he is.
On 2nd and 10, Jones-Drew, right side, cuts it back. And down to about the 28 or 29-yard line. Aaron Francisco with help from Cavell Connor.
Well, this is a team, Greg mentioned earlier, that leads the National Football League with the fewest 3-and-outs. Well, trailing 14-3, if ever they were to put that to use, now's the time. They can ill afford to give the ball back to the Colts the way they have the Jacksonville defense on their heels right now.
3rd and 6. Mike Sims-Walker is back in the lineup for Jacksonville, by the way. Garrard going to go deep down the sideline and overthrowing everybody. And a penalty marker flies. It was intended for Sims-Walker.
Well, Jacob Lacey and Antoine Bethea were the 2 Colts defenders back there.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. Grabbing the receiver's arm when the ball was in the air. From the spot of the foul.
The call is against Jacob Lacey.
And there he is right now running with Sims-Walker. Oh, right there, that's what they got him. He reached out with his right hand and hooks the left arm. Right there. Right there, he grabs the forearm. He didn't hold it for very long, but that's what the officials saw.
58 yards in penalties against the Colts so far today. First down at the Indianapolis 43. Jones-Drew. Back to the 46. And we go back to New York to James Brown. JB?
Hey, Greg and Dan, if it worked once, let's do it again. Eli to Mario Manningham worked before for 35 yards. This one for 33 yards. Second hookup of the day, capping an 8-play, 73-yard drive. 14-3. Giants on top of the Eagles in the second. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deardorff.
You know, if Mario Manningham keeps this up, Dan's going to get the Michigan pom-poms out in the booth.
When in doubt, JB, go to the maize and blue.
2nd and 13. And Rashad Jennings is in the backfield. Short drop, quick pass. That's complete to Lewis inside the 40. And brought down at the 38, maybe the 37-yard line. And James Brown getting paid by the word today. What you got, JB?
All right, Greg, what we have here, Ravens taking the lead here. Ray Rice doing the honors. Big hole there. He scoots up 10 yards to pay dirt, capping a 9-play, 58-yard drive, 14-7 Ravens on top of the Saints. Both teams looking for the postseason. Greg and Dan.
Big games all over the NFL today. 3rd and 5. Garrard throwing down the sideline. That is incomplete. Double covered down there.
And boy, did Garrard get whacked at the end of that. Normally rolling out of the pocket like that buys you some space, but watch from the left. There comes Antoine Bethea, and he was not back in coverage. And he drops David Garrard.
And on 4th down, David Garrard and the offense are still out there.
Well, they converted on 4th down on their last drive. Let's see if they can do it again.
Garrard throwing, wide open, caught. Penalty markers are down. This is Mercedes Lewis, and he's inside the 10.
Well, the question is, how did he get that wide open? And he was wide open.
Pass interference. Offense.
That's how he got that open.
10-yard penalty.
All right, let's take a look at Mercedes Lewis. And he does use the right hand to push off on Brown. You know, I've seen, tight ends get mugged an awful lot. And, they've got to use their hands a lot of times to get open. I've seen a whole lot worse than that didn't get called.
Nevertheless, line of scrimmage is now the 48-yard line, and the punting unit is on.
Yeah, a monster penalty against Jacksonville.
Blair White is deep for the Colts. Adam Podlesh will punt it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 19-yard line. Back at Lucas Oil Stadium, the line of scrimmage is the 14-yard line, and field position hasn't really bothered Peyton Manning today. 3 out of their 4 drives have begun inside their own 20. Javaris James now in the backfield. His first action of the day, Manning going to throw over the middle. That's complete across the 20. Austin Collie does it again. Austin Collie having himself a nice little first half.
Oh, you think? A nice little comeback for Collie, who hasn't played the last 3 games. And again, Peyton has gone to him early and often, a blown coverage, gives him his first touchdown, and then right up the seam, gives him his second.
Manning over the middle. And Reggie Wayne went down at the 25-yard line.
Peyton imploring for a holding call, but I'm not,
as are the fans.
I don't know if Reggie didn't lose his power, ran into him. No question that when Peyton goes to him, he's on the ground. Oh, he does get tripped up from behind. Cox is running with him, and they tangle feet. Peyton had all day as he drifted out of the pocket. The officials ruling that was just inadvertent contact with their feet.
End result is 3rd and 2. Manning will throw for it near side of the field. That's complete for a first down to about the 28-yard line, and Collie again.
It's like Peyton Manning goes, well, you've had 3 weeks off. You're fresh.
Time to earn a paycheck.
That's exactly right. There's no slacking on my offense. You're gonna show up, you're gonna play, and you're gonna be used.
This is James. And he's brought down by Jeremy Mincy.
It's almost like the Colts realized that the Jaguars were going to do whatever they could do to take Reggie Wayne away from Peyton Manning after he torched them for 15 receptions and almost 200 yards in the first game.
And Peyton has said, fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Pierre Garçon didn't play in that first game. Collie's back this week. Peyton's got some guns, some bullets in the old gun.
That's Tammy over the middle to the 32-yard line. And we mentioned earlier that outstanding young front 4 of the Jaguars defense, but you just don't have time to get to Peyton Manning, who gets rid of the ball faster than anyone in the league.
Well, it is a frustrating experience. They do have 1 sack on Manning so far, but he's so good at delivering the ball so quickly that you expend all that effort, all that energy, and you just get close. By and large, that's the best you can say. I got close.
They've been out there a good part of this first half. Some lengthy drives by the Colts. 3rd and 6 here. Quick pass outside. Collins looking for running room, and is going to be about a yard and a half shy of a first down.
Well, that was really asking a lot of Austin Collie to break that many tackles to pick up the first down. Here comes the blitz, the overload, and Peyton gets rid of it in a hurry. But that's just a yard and a half pattern by Austin Collie, an outstanding pursuit by Jacksonville's defense. Boy, did they need that to force a Colts punt.
High kick by McAfee. This is Thomas. And Thomas makes the catch on the run. Did not call for a fair catch, and he's down the sideline, and he's on his way. Touchdown, Jacksonville. I think that the Colts felt that he called for a fair catch.
Well, we have 2 Indianapolis Colts down on the field. Well, that signal, the hand is supposed to be above the head and waving to signal the fair catch. We saw that Thomas did a little wave, but does this constitute a fair catch? By the definition of the rule, no, it does not. But you could certainly see why some of the Colts thought that might have been a fair catch signal.
They let up just a bit. That's all Mike Thomas needed. Injuries on the field. 78-yard punt return by Mike Thomas. 2 injured Colts were able to walk off the field. Mike Newton, number 38, Al Afalava, number 23.
This crowd's still really unhappy. They think that Mike Thomas gave a fair catch signal.
Scobie's extra point is good. And 3:51 to play in the first half. Jacksonville jumps right back into the thick of things. This fair catch or no fair catch? The official said no. Ends up in the other end zone. No team had gone longer without a punt return for a touchdown than the Jacksonville Jaguars until moments ago.
And you know, Greg, this crowd is really unhappy. The more they look at it, the unhappier they get. But in reality, that was not a fair catch signal.
The more we look at it, the more we're convinced that the Colts kind of duped themselves into thinking it was a fair catch.
If they did, that was their mistake. And I'll guarantee every special teams coach in the league this week is going to pay a little more attention to just that scenario. But that was a way. You've got to put the arm straight up over your head, wave it vigorously, identify that you're making the fair catch, and that was far from that type of signal.
Hit the 15 forward to about the 16-yard line. Boy, and did Jacksonville need that touchdown. Again, they win here today. They win the AFC South. Indianapolis, meanwhile, needs a win here and then wins in their final 2 games to claim the division.
And again, Jacksonville so desperately needed that because offensively they're not doing much of anything. They only have 76 yards. Meanwhile, Peyton and the Colts, who now get another possession, they've got 211 yards in offense already.
They start from the 17-yard line. Manning stepping up, going deep down the sideline. It is incomplete. Reggie Wayne, the intended receiver, and Derek Cox was with him stride for stride.
And Derek Cox was shoulder pad to shoulder pad in his helmet. It looked like the football almost came down and hit him on the head. Again, Cox is playing Reggie Wayne. He does turn back. He sees the football. No, it actually hit him on the hands. He gets his hands up there, deflects it back onto his own helmet. But again, perfect coverage.
This is Donald Brown. Brown out across the 30-yard line. That's a first down for the Colts.
Well, I'm not exactly sure, as Joseph Adai looks on, what is going through the minds of the run defense right now of Jacksonville, but I'm sure they're stunned that Donald Brown is running like this.
No gain on that carry as we come up on the 3-minute mark here in the second quarter.
Keep in mind the Colts average less than 80 yards a game running the football, and Donald Brown right now has 80 yards himself in the first half.
On 2nd and 10, Manning, Reggie Wayne. And he was about a half yard short of a first down just across the 40-yard line. Derek Cox covering there. These Jacksonville Jaguars come in winners of 2 in a row, 5 of their last 6 games, and 7 of their last 10.
And Peyton, again, just a clinic on completing passes. 18 of 22.
And a career high for completions in a season.
Well, he's going to set the record for most attempts in the season. He has had to throw the ball all over the place.
Pass out here, complete. Gian Robinson for the first down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
I tell you, when Peyton throws it to somebody, they catch it.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. 14-10. Colts. Hey, stay tuned for the Sprint Halftime Report at halftime. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and the coach will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights, and they are big. They are important. The Sprint Halftime Report. Here's Maurice Jones-Drew and David Garrard looking on. Manning.
Well, their offense has been a little sleepy here in the first half.
Going to go deep for Garcon. Incomplete at the 10-yard line, covered by Rashean Mathis.
Well, that's the first time Peyton has challenged Rashean Mathis, the multi-Pro Bowl corner for the Jags. And again, he's right there with Pierre Garcon all the way as they both go up and contest for that football. Garcon had to wait for it just a little bit. If Peyton had it over, he would have put about another yard or so of air under that ball and given Garcon a chance to stretch out for it.
By the way, that was attempt number 593 on the season for Manning, and that's a career high for him.
That's a career for some quarterbacks.
Dominique Rhodes turning the corner, left side, midfield, cuts it back. First down to the 40.
Listen to the crowd give it up for Dominique, who had a lot of good years here with the Colts and just recently came back. They didn't re-sign him until December the 7th.
Minute and a half to play.
No, Saturday got out in front of him, made a nice block, and then he was a little shifty and made somebody miss.
That's his first carry since the 08 season, and that one's going to go nowhere. Pass completed to Jacob Tamme, but Darrell Smith was right there.
Oh, and Tamme is still down. And Jacob Tamme, I pretty obviously hurt.
And the Colts will be charged with a timeout here. That leaves them with 2 remaining here in the first half.
You know, that's that little bubble screen where you just, instantly throw the ball to your tight end and hope the blockers get out in front of him. But, man, there's a lot of traffic in there.
Ooh. There it is.
Yeah, you can see it.
Jerome Mincey's knees flying right underneath.
Well, Darrell Smith is making the tackle, but then Mincey comes in from the other direction and forces Tammy's head back. That's certainly why a football player spends a whole lot of time in the weight room.
By the way, I'm
strengthening those muscles.
I'm so proud of us and our toughness when something happens and we go,
At least we didn't squeak.
That's right. Our pass attempts now at 594 as he continues to add to his career high for his season. 2nd and 12. Manning dancing, throws, and off the chest of Austin Collie. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's about the first time in this half that Peyton has delivered a ball to somebody. Reggie Wayne dropped one, but he had a guy draped all over him. You could hear this thing thump off a collie. That's what's known as letting the football get into your body instead of catching it with your hands. That just bounced right off the sternum of Austin Collie.
3rd and 12. Up the seam. Incomplete.
Oh, no.
Oh, Collie is down again.
Oh, no.
And not moving much.
Austin Collie going right up the seam. You know there's a safety back there when you go up the seam like this. And instead of a safety, it's actually Darryl Smith, a linebacker, who floats out from coverage.
Right in that neck area. Got his head bent back, and it is silence here in Indianapolis.
And again, for those of you that needed a reminder, Austin Collie has missed 5 games already this year because of concussion-related issues. And this is just really unfortunate.
The Jacksonville players venturing out on the field and keeping an eye on what's going on with Austin Collie. This comes with 61 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. And there's the first bit of good news. Take another look at it.
Austin Collie already has a couple touchdowns on the day. Again, he's going right up the seam. He's concentrating on the football, and he doesn't see Darryl Smith coming the other direction. It's not a helmet-to-helmet hit. It's just an unfortunate part of the game.
And Collie returning to action today has been huge here in the first half, with 8 catches for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And Austin Collie not even going to the Colts bench. He's going to go right. He's going to go right up the tunnel. I'm sure Peyton's going, wow, what could I have done differently? Could I have... He threw the ball right to him. He put it... It's just unfortunate.
So they will look at Collie in the locker room. We will pass the word on to you as soon as we get it. Meanwhile, McAfee set to kick it away to Mike Thomas. Did he call for a fair catch or did he not? That's a fair catch. At the 12-yard line. So Jacksonville gets the ball back with 53 seconds remaining, all 3 of their timeouts, and they trail by a score of 14-10. Peyton Manning has been pretty good, and David Garrard hasn't put the ball up. I mean, they're a pretty balanced offense, but he hasn't put the ball up nearly as much as we thought he might have so far.
Well, Brown there with 80 yards rushing, that's a real surprise. I guarantee you that's a surprise to Jacksonville. And again, the big first half by Austin Collie, and we will try to pass it on as quickly as we know anything about the update on his health.
Garrard from his own 12. Going to hand it off to James. To the 14. 45 seconds to play.
And I think we get a good look right here that Jack Del Rio is going to be comfortable going into the half down by 4. This is not a quick strike offense that he has. You are what you are.
And Maurice Jones-Drew on the sideline. High snap grabbed by Garrard. The run out to close to the 20-yard line, and that will do it for the first half.
Well, thank heavens for special teams if you're a Jaguars fan.
The battle for the AFC South crown. We're at the end of a first half. Jacksonville wants a win here. They trail by 4 at halftime. Back with the spread halftime report. in the AFC South race for the division title. At halftime, Indianapolis with a 14-10 lead on Jacksonville. Let's take a look at the Droid Pro play presented by Motorola, Dan.
Well, Austin Collie and Peyton Manning showing great teamwork here. Manning enjoying good pass blocking, had a good look downfield, and Austin Collie had a couple touchdowns in the first half, but unfortunately he got hurt. We got an update?
Yeah, Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf back with you. The word from the Indianapolis Colts is that Austin Collie has suffered another concussion, and all you can do is just shake your head for the young man because he waited so long to get back, and you could tell the effect he had on this game in the first half.
Really, and even if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, you just got to... You don't wish that kind of injury on anybody, but again, it's such a heart-tugging story. Worked so hard to come back, and now you just really hope that there are no long-term effects here. And a question as to, you know, as we draw near the end of the season, potential playoffs, this story's not yet told.
So now, as we look ahead to the second half, the question is, who does Peyton Manning turn to? Because clearly, his go-to guy, as you look at first half numbers, his go-to guy in the first half was Austin Collie.
Right, working out of the slot. He went to Garcon, he went to Reggie Wayne, but not nearly in the numbers that he worked Collie. So Jacksonville so far has done a good job of limiting Peyton Manning's access to Reggie Wayne. And, you know, we talked about the fact that in the first game, Reggie Wayne had such a huge game back in October with 15 catches. But now out of necessity, Garcon, Tammy, and Reggie Wayne are going to have to step up here in the second half for Manning.
Deji Karim in the end zone awaiting the kick as Jacksonville will get their hands on the ball first here in the second half. Karim 3 yards deep. Breaking free out to the 30-yard line. Good field position to start the second half for David Garrard and the Jacksonville offense.
Which, by the way, needs to get untrapped because they did not a whole lot in the first half. And as you can see, running the football, a grand total of 40. And keep in mind, this is against a run defense that's giving up over 140 yards a game. So, at least in the first half, the Colts defensively have stepped up on the line of scrimmage and not allowed anybody to get loose in terms of running the ball for Jacksonville.
On first down, play fake. Garrard rolling, throws, and almost picked off it. Cavell Connor, number 53, came so close.
Well, he certainly did, but what a play. I believe it's Antoine Bethea that closes on this football. Look at Bethea there. It's 41, how he gets in front. And, yeah, there's a little contact right at the last second as the ball gets there. Well, the contact before the ball gets there, but that is so, we're looking at that in super slow motion. That was simultaneous in the eyes of the official. And now Garrard's got to take a timeout.
So just 14 seconds into the third quarter, Jacksonville's down a timeout. Jacksonville looking for a win to clinch the AFC South today. Indy looking to stay alive for the division title, and Maurice Jones-Drew breaking across the 35 to the 37-yard line where Gary Brackett caught up with him.
You saw that look on Jack Del Rio's face. I'm sure that he's not very happy at all that they had to burn a timeout 14 seconds into the second half. Normally the way these games go, so tight down to the end. We'll see if that's a timeout they wish they had at the end of this thing.
3rd and 3. Jones-Drew. Going to be about a yard short of a first down.
And looks like a full yard short of the first down as well.
And no sign of the punting unit coming off the Jacksonville bench.
Wow, this is a down by only 4 points. This is aggressive football by Jack Del Rio inside his own 40-yard line. A lot of factors here. He believes his offensive line can control things, and he doesn't want Manning to get the football.
Maurice Jones-Drew, the deep back. Greg Jones just ahead of him. Jones-Drew lost the handle and lost yardage.
I credit that decision to Peyton Manning. And look where Manning's going to get the football now. Looks like that pitch from Garrard just bounces off the chest of Jones-Drew.
Or you wonder if that was supposed to be a handoff instead of a pitch.
Well, you got to ask David Garrard, and he's in charge of it. That's a good-looking pitch. Jones-Drew just didn't catch it with his hands. He let it go right through his hands, and it caroms off his chest.
So Manning and the Colts take over at the Jacksonville 38.
How was that for a bad possession by Jacksonville? A wasted timeout and a fumble.
Donald Brown. Maybe a yard. Well, it's not the first time today that Jack Del Rio has shown that he wants to go for it on 4th down.
No, but the other times we're in Indianapolis territory. It's a whole nother game when you're doing it inside your own 40 in a 4-point ball game. But again, he's got confidence in his offensive line and his running game. And I think he was afraid that he was trying to limit, again, Peyton Manning's opportunities.
On 2nd and 10, we get a whistle.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty is still 2nd down.
Ryan Dean, the right tackle, guilty of the false start. And that'll back the Colts up to the Jacksonville 43.
Well, Manning has seen sacks and false starts.
Ryan Dean has more than his share.
Well, you don't want to lead the league in that category. But it seems like every time they've had something like this, they've come right back and picked up a 1st down.
Brown, left side, 30, 20, 10, touchdown! Kind of like that.
Indianapolis has been uncanny following up a penalty, a sack with a big play. And again, now Donald Brown, way over 100 yards.
43 on this one.
This for a team that can't run the football. 32nd in the NFL running the football. That's because there are only 32 teams.
Not today. Donald Brown, 2nd year back out of UConn. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the season is a big one. .19 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Colts running game has made an impact. Deji Karim out of his own end zone. 20, 25, and forward to about the 28-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown run.
Well, Peyton Manning is making a pre-snap read on whether to run or to pass. When he sees these two safeties this far off the line of scrimmage, he is going to run the football. Those two guys have removed themselves from coming up to the line of scrimmage. They get caught up in the wash, terrible pursuit angles, and that is just taking what the defense gives you. They're going to sit back in that cover 2 shell. Peyton Manning will run the football.
Donald Brown, the first 100-yard rusher for the Colts in their last 36 games. Joseph Adai was the last one, and for the Colts, it's their first game rushing for 100 yards or more in their last 7 games.
And again,
to 12-11 on the game clock, please.
Mike Carey resetting the game clock to 12 minutes and 11 seconds. But again, keep in mind here, if you weren't with us earlier, Jacksonville has 10 points, but they only have a field goal offensively. They have a punt return for a touchdown. And they don't even have 100 yards offense yet in this entire game.
Donald Brown has ripped off runs of 49 and 43 yards here today. Garrard pitched it behind Jones-Drew, lost the ball. Who covers it? Picked up eventually by Kasim Osgood. But this is going to back the Jaguars up some.
And on back-to-back plays, David Garrard and Maurice Jones-Drew have mishandled the football. Again, this is an option. They've run this before, but David Garrard pitches it clear behind Dwight Freeney. So on back-to-back plays, there's a fourth down play on the prior possession that they didn't convert. And now they come right back behind with another huge negative run attempt.
2nd and 22. Garrard just throws that into the dirt. Under pressure.
Well, Dwight Freeney Yep. And here comes the late flag. I'm not sure David Garrard was out of the pocket, and you have to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 32 was in the area.
He threw that at the feet of Maurice Jones-Drew.
All right, well, there's Jones-Drew on the right. Well, I'm not sure it was at the feet, but I guess it was close enough.
All right, they're at the same zip code. 3rd and 22.
Uh-oh. Look out, 93-98.
Garrard. Incomplete. Betwixt and between a couple of Jacksonville receivers up the middle of the field.
And his receiver, Jason Hill, ends up on the ground.
This is Mike Sims Walker.
There's Walker. He's trying to make a double move. He loses his footing once. And that's just, again, a horrible series for Jacksonville.
2nd 3 and out of the day for Jacksonville. 4th and 22. Blair White deep for the kick. That's a terrific kick. White all the way back to his 23-yard line. And spins forward to the 26. 11:01 to play in the 3rd. Not all peaches and cream so far for Maurice Jones-Drew, David Garrard, and the Jacksonville Jaguars as Peyton Manning and the Colts take over at their own 26-yard line. Donald Brown is on the sideline. Dominique Rhodes in the backfield as Manning throws. Off the hands of Rhodes, it'll be 2nd and 10.
A rare instance where Peyton puts the ball in somebody's hands and it doesn't end up being caught. And Donald Brown, there's the guy that's taken Jacksonville completely by surprise. 123 yards on the day. This from a football team that supposedly can't run.
Manning quickly to Reggie Wayne, and Darrell Smith is there to meet him.
And Darrell Smith, playing the linebacker position, one of the veterans on this Jacksonville team, is all over the place today. Making plays downfield, making plays at the sidelines. He's covering a little territory for the guys from Florida.
And now statement time for this Jacksonville defense. Looking for a stop here on 3rd and 10. Manning going to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Blair White. Just out of reach. And McAfee will come on to kick it away.
Well, you could just see that Blair White broke his pattern a little more towards the sideline. Peyton Manning thought he was going to head a little more downfield. And Blair White is the guy that's having to play because Austin Collie has been concussed and probably will not return. Although they said doubtful, but I don't know how he could have a concussion and even dream about coming back and playing.
Here's Mike Carey.
Neutral zone infraction, and the defense, number 24, jumped into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty is still 4th down.
So the punting unit will stay on the field. Mike Thomas will again position himself back close to the 20-yard line in the second quarter. The Colts thought he had called for a fair catch. He did not. Returned to punt 78 yards for a touchdown. High kick. Fair catch called for. And Thomas was run into at the 25-yard line.
Well, it looked
and
like
blocked into him maybe.
Well, I was going to say Derek Cox, number 21. That almost looked like he was blocked into him. Now, this is where you need the conference. Here's where you need the conference to sort this out. I thought that the Jacksonville player blocked him into the returner.
There's 21 Derek Cox. Jim Caldwell very interested to see how this one turns out. Mike Carey going to weigh all the options. Let's look at it again.
All right, see right there, he's hit from behind. You know, from that angle, you're going, well, geez, maybe he could have changed directions. Let's look at it. Okay, watch coming in from the right of your screen. Smith is going to come hauling in there. He had already been hit in the back by Cox.
A good 5 or 6 yards away.
But it knocked him off balance and off stride. Right there's the hit. You know, it looks to me like Smith is out of control after that hit.
Here's Mike Carey.
There's no foul for interference for the fair catch. There's a legal block in the back by the receiving team, number 21, which caused that foul.
That's the right call.
The ball was touched by the receivers, making it legal to be recovered by the kicking team. Therefore, it's a previous spot enforcement. 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And the Colts come away with the football. Jack Del Rio is fit to be tied. Well, the events of this last play have left the Jaguars extremely unhappy, and now we're going to change the location again, it appears. Here's Mike Carey.
Correction. Indianapolis has declined the penalty. Therefore, it's their ball at the spot of the recovery. 1st down.
Well, Mike Carey is saying because a Jacksonville player caused the Colt player to run into the man who was attempting to field the punt, that because the ball caroms off of him and goes right back to a Colts player, that the Colts end up with the football.
And they end up with the ball at the 21-yard line.
So right there, Derek Cox starts a chain of events by hitting Smith in the back that ends up with the Colts getting tremendous field position.
Amazing field position out of that play. After a defensive stand by the Jaguars. Manning, complete inside the 20-yard line to Pierre Garçon.
Well, I don't think either Jim Caldwell or Jack Del Rio saw that one coming. But I'll say this, it was a good job by the officials of getting together and ultimately coming up with the correct call.
Second and 6. This is Rose. Wrapped up at the 16 by Darrell Smith.
Well, extremely critical here for Jacksonville if they can force Indianapolis into a field goal attempt and keep Peyton Manning out of the end zone. At least you're keeping it at a 2-score game to tie it up. Again, Jacksonville not even 100 yards yet.
3rd and 5.
exactly what Jacksonville needed to do. Vinatieri comes out. Payton was under some duress, not able to step into that, not able to throw it as accurately as he would have liked.
So Adam Vinatieri will come on to attempt, which will be about a 34-yard field goal.
Vinatieri 20 of 22 on the year.
21-23. 8:47 to play, third quarter. 24-10 Colts. And tonight on 60 Minutes, a discovery about memory. People who have a remarkable ability to remember every day of their lives. What could it mean for the rest of us? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes only. CBS. Deji Karim deep. I'm going to take this one from the 1. Tripped up at the 20, forward to about the 23-yard line. Maurice Jones-Drew going to have a tough time getting going today.
Well, he came into this game averaging 4.5 yards a carry, and he's not even averaging 3 yards a carry on the day today. It's been a real struggle everywhere he has gone. He has drawn a crowd, and then the last couple of times he and David Garrard have had problems with the football. Now keep in mind that Jones-Drew and Garrard both missed practice time this week because Garrard had a hamstring, Jones-Drew has a bad knee, and boy, you got to wonder on those couple of mishandles if a lack of quality practice time didn't rear its ugly head.
And he's on the sideline, and Rashad James starts this series in the backfield and still on his feet and out to about the 28-yard line. Once again, to New York and James Brown. JB.
Hey, Greg and Dan, Philly finally with a touchdown on a scoreboard coming after a Mario Manningham fumble. Michael Vick hooking up with Jeremy Maclin, 8-yard strike. It's now 24-10. That in the third. Giants on top. Greg and Dan.
All right, JB, thank you. 24-10 score here. Indianapolis with the lead. 8:10 to play in the third. On 2nd and 5, Garrard.
Well, how's that for getting caught in a vice between Angerer and Jacob Lacey? That's getting spun around. Again, the talent for this guy is just unlimited, but that is good team defense right there. High, low.
Shades of John Elway at the goal line in the Super Bowl. 3rd and 1. Again, Jennings in the backfield, and Garrard going to keep this one. And he'll have a first down close to the 35.
Quarterback sneak with David Garrard running the football is never a bad option. He is such a powerful man. He's at 6'1", 236, and
well, he outweighs his halfbacks.
Well, and a lot of it is down below the waist in terms of his tremendous leg strength in his thighs and lower legs. David Garrard is a thick, powerful quarterback. Loves to be on the move.
Jacksonville records its first down of this third quarter. Garrard with time. Penalty markers down in the backfield. This is complete to Jennings, and Jennings close to midfield. But let's check the flag, which was thrown in the backfield.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty is still first.
That's Eugene Monroe, the left tackle.
Yeah, Eugene Monroe has had, he's been flagged already today. Watch him right there on the left. You see he gets that right hand right up underneath the face mask of Dwight Freeney, and he won't get it out of there. I mean, it's one thing to get it up there, but have some sense of it and get it back down. But he didn't do it, and now here we go. It's another long yardage situation for Jacksonville. First and 20 yards. This is not ideal.
From their own 25-yard line.
Look out.
Garrard throws complete to Jennings out of the backfield, and he's out to about the 30. That's a pickup of 5.
A nice job by David Garrard with Dwight Freeney right in his face. Freeney puts that classic spin move. Watch this thing right there on the top. Watch this move he puts on Monroe. Whoop, right back to the inside.
And a nice job by you of yelling a look out for David Garrard from way up here.
Well, I'm sure David didn't need me to tell him that 93 is coming right down the barrel, right at him.
2nd and 15. Time to throw deep down the middle. It's complete inside the 35 to the 30-yard line to Mike Thomas.
Boy, and both safeties were deep for the Colts. Bethea and Francisco are both back there. Bethea, though, in a chase position, and Francisco way off to the right. And, boy, you don't expect to find that big of a hole in the middle of this Colts cover 2.
And Garrard was right on the money, and Jacksonville now at the Indy 31. That's a 39-yard pickup. Garrard to throw again, a little pump fake. Gonna throw it over the middle. Oh, what a catch by Mercedes Lewis. Oh, my goodness.
Well, nice job by the Jaguars of throwing the football, seeing that there are 8 Colts up near the line of scrimmage. They are really overplaying the run, only a single deep safety, and Antoine Bethea not able to get over there and make the play. And again, the big man, a big target, Mercedes Lewis, when he goes up to make that one-handed grab, he's up there about 11 feet off the ground with that hand.
Well, that wasn't a catch, it was a rebound. 1st and goal. Play fake, touchdown to Mike Sims Walker. And once again, Jacksonville right back into the thick of things here with a touchdown.
Boy, and they did it on the arm of David Garrard. They did it throwing the football, and Jim Caldwell, I think, a little amazed that there were as many holes in his defense on that drive. I'm talking about guys who were wide open. You had the one sensational catch by Lewis, but everybody else was really in the open.
Dan, we always talk about how it's amazing how Peyton Manning gets away with play fakes when his team isn't able to run the football, and David Garrard was able to throw the ball down the field in this series. That kick is good. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and Jacksonville climbing back to within a TD at 24-17.
Well, Jack Del Rio loves the fight on his football team. They've come back before this season. Again, there's the little play action fake, but that's, again, a blown coverage. And this far into the season, you wouldn't expect there to be these kind of mistakes made defensively. But Antoine Bethea, I don't even know if that's his responsibility or not. He's the lone defender anywhere in the vicinity for the Colts. And you know that the Colts just aren't used to this. That's about as demonstrative a look of frustration as you'll get out of Jim Caldwell.
And by the way, the Indianapolis Colts, this game feels like it's been a Colts run, and it's a 1-touchdown difference.
Yes, sir. Check it. That's 35 plays, gets you 110, and the last 3 get you 70. Well, look at this. We got a 7-point ball game.
David Garrard was 5 out of 5 throwing the ball for 79 yards on that drive.
Yeah. The Jaguar defense did a good job forcing the Colts to kick a field goal to get to 24. And, man, then the offense did its part for the first time and got them right back in this.
Dominique Rhodes is deep. And Rhodes will run this one. No, he won't run it out of the end zone.
Well, these two teams, again, they play so many close games over the past couple of years, the last 5. This was week 3 in 08. Scobie hits a 51-yard game winner. Then back in 08, Freeney sacks Garrard. That ended the football game. Then David Garrard forced into an incompletion. That was week 1 in 09. Here we go to the last game of last year. Lacey makes that interception to seal the game. And then earlier this year, Josh Scobie kicks a 59-yarder to win it down in Jacksonville.
Each of these last 6 games decided by 7 or less. Peyton and the Colts from their own 20. On the slant. across the 30 to the 32-yard line of Pierre Garçon.
And again, a reminder, everyone, Austin Collie, who had such a huge first half, was injured at the very end of the first half and sustained another concussion. So it's up to the rest of the wide receivers here to fill in the blanks.
This is Donald Brown, and Brown rolls his way to the 35.
Reggie Wayne has 4 receptions on the day for only 24 yards. Garçon has 5 for 44. So again, it is, other than Colley's couple of touchdown catches, a lot of the stuff for the Colts has been really short to intermediate passing.
On 2nd and 7, it's going to be Brown again. And he is at the 35-yard line, and Darrell Smith with the stop. Let's go back to that play involving Austin Collie.
Well, he had 8 receptions and a couple touchdowns, but he's running a seam pattern. And watch, coming in here from the left, that's Darrell Smith, the linebacker. And again, Colley's lowering his head and going down. Smith is coming across, nothing malicious. It's just football, but unfortunately, Austin Collie, after missing 5 games with concussion-related problems, concussed again.
Jacksonville hoping to force another 3 out here, and they will. That one completed to Jacob Tammy, but he's dragged down at the 37-yard line.
Ooh, and there's a pattern, and with that kind of coverage, that has virtually no chance of picking up a first down. That's about a 1-yard out pattern being run by Tammy.
That's the 3rd 3 and out of the day for the Colts. McAfee to kick it away to Mike Thomas.
That pass and that completion, that's a little surprising.
High kick. Thomas, no fair catch, and out of bounds at the 24. A daring punt returner is number 80, Mike Thomas. 7-point game here. We'll see how it turns out. Meanwhile, coming up next, Mark Sanchez and the New York Jets trying to bounce back against Ben Roethlisberger and the division-leading Steelers, or the Broncos and the Raiders. Check your local listings this season. More people watch the NFL on CBS than any other network.
Boy, how big is that Jets-Pittsburgh game coming up?
2 teams that are having trouble scoring points.
Yeah, really.
For starters.
We saw Pittsburgh last week. They had 2 defensive touchdowns in the game we had. And the Jets, who are the Jets? There's the question mark right now. Mark Sanchez in need of a rebound game.
Maurice Jones-Drew back on the field, in the backfield. Play fake to him. Garrard going to throw it out here to Jones-Drew. Up the sideline. Across the 35 and out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Boy, did Maurice Jones-Drew get left alone by the Colts. Nice soft hands. Look at him look it right into his hands. Resisted the urge to look upfield to see what was going on. He looks the ball right in, and then to his surprise finds out that the nearest Colt is about 5 yards down the field.
They're on the sidelines. First down, Jacksonville at the 39. We are in the final minute of play of the 3rd quarter. Another play fake. Garrard over the middle. Got his man. Sims Walker inside the Indianapolis 40 to the 38.
And all of a sudden, David Garrard is morphing into Peyton Manning as they are just lighting up the Indianapolis defense throwing the football. And we're not talking about guys making great plays. We're talking about guys being wide open. I mean, Mike Sims Walker doesn't have a Colt within a couple of yards of him when Garrard hits him.
Manning plotting his next possession. Garrard to throw again. Gonna throw over the middle, intercepted. Picked off at the 15-yard line by Antoine Bethea. Bethea to the 35, to the 40, still on his feet. Forward to about the 44-yard line. Along with our our producer Mark Wolf, our director Bob Fishman. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, 15 minutes to play here in Indianapolis. Can Jacksonville rally and win the AFC South? Can Indianapolis hold on and move toward another division title with 3 straight wins to end the regular season? Dominique Rhodes for not much.
Well, the Jacksonville offense was humming. David Garrard was just carving up this defense. He's under some pressure from Freeney, and the ball just totally sails on him as he tries to throw it to Jason Hill, their number 83. Way over his head. Antoine Bethea just playing center field, and the ball comes right to him. And that you got to give Freeney an assist with some pressure.
2nd and 12. Manning to Rhodes. Rhodes' forward progress will be marked to about the 46-yard line.
Dwight Freeney came around on a loop up the middle, and you could see that David Garrard, he wasn't able to really step up and put everything on that ball that he would have liked, and it really just got away from him. And again, Jacksonville with a winning record came into this game -10 on their turnover differential, and they're losing the turnover battle by 2 today. The Colts yet to turn it over.
Hard to believe you can turn the ball over that much with a winning record.
It's very hard to believe.
3rd and 8. Manning on the move. Throw. Got his man inside the 40-yard line. Blair White for a first down.
Well, Peyton Manning goes, hey, I can move out of the pocket. I can throw the ball on the run. And you know, it's something that he has done effectively his entire career. It's just he's not the most athletic guy in the world. But you know what? You can't do it a lot better than that. Peyton Manning on the move outside of the pocket. Well, is that a surprise, I guess, that he's able to throw a strike?
Distributing the ball to 8 different receivers today. First down at the Jacksonville 38. Play fake. And at the feet of Jacob Tamme, he pulled that in at the 30-yard line. That's a pretty good catch.
Well, and that's, you know, Peyton threw it down there on purpose because there was tremendous coverage. You know, there's a reason that this ball is low, and it's because Tamme is completely covered. Now, I think that might have been a little lower than Manning really wanted it to go, but he threw that low on purpose. There was no chance that he's going to throw the ball up high. Don Carey, good coverage.
2nd and 2. They give it to Rhodes, and Rhodes has the first down to about the 25-yard line.
Boy, Dominique Rhodes is a thumper. I mean, this guy, not the most spectacular guy, but productive. But man, when it's time to finish a run, he lowers the pad level and finishes.
Moments ago, Jacksonville was hoping to stop the Colts on 3rd down, had Manning on the run. All of a sudden, the Colts are at the Jacksonville 25, first down. Rhodes. And he lost about 3 or 4 on that play. Darrell Smith and Kirk Morrison.
We talked to Peyton Manning earlier, and he just said, you know, we just can't have a lot of negative plays. I hate it when 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and 12. Those were his exact words. And they have had a bunch of negative plays today. They really have. But that was a direct quote. We can't have 1st and 10 become 2nd and 12. And here we are. Now he's also overcome a bunch of those negative plays, following with a big play.
Manning, short pop over the middle, complete inside the 25 to the 23 to Tamme. And we come up to 11 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
Again, Peyton Manning, as he has done a lot today, working underneath. Jacksonville playing a deep shell. There they go, both safeties back again, back around the 10-yard line.
Another big 3rd down play for the Jacksonville defense. Give it to Rhodes. Rhodes, left side, looking for running room. And inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. That'll be about 4 yards short, and it'll bring Adam Vinatieri on for the field goal.
Well, Jack Del Rio realizes that's about the best his defense could do in that situation is, again, force a field goal attempt.
This is going to be a 37-yard attempt. Vinatieri connected from 34 yards earlier.
I'll set you up. He's 21 of 23.
No. He's 22 of 24. 9:57 to play in the fourth. Colts 27-17. 9 minutes 57 seconds remaining here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Indianapolis 27 and Jacksonville 17. The front line of the Jaguars. Karim is deep. This is a low kick picked off at the 22-yard line and brought back across the 35 by Zach Potter, a tight end. The full range of emotions on display here at Lucas Oil Stadium, and guess what? It's not over yet. Joseph Adai sitting there in the blue t-shirt, not active for today's game. Maurice Jones-Drew in the backfield for Jacksonville, which needs a little production.
When you're hurt, you don't even get a seat on the bench. You got to sit on the water cooler. Jones-Drew to about the 43.
Well, it's been tough sledding for Maurice Jones-Drew today. He's getting carries. That was his 16th carry, but again, he can't even find 50 yards on the day. 46.
Only 9 in the third quarter.
Yeah. This running attack of Jacksonville not playing out the form today. A lot of kudos to the Colts up front.
Garrard from the shotgun on 2nd and 5 over the middle to Jones-Drew, has a first down across midfield to about the 49 or the 48-yard line of the Colts. Tywan Hagler coming up.
Well, Jim Caldwell told us that with the Jaguars, it's like basketball. If a guy likes to go to his right, you force him to his left. And, you know, his point was, we'd like to force David Garrard to throw the football. Here in the second half, that's been the difference, as the Jaguars have been able to throw the football, and pretty effectively, right up to that last interception.
That's Cornelius Brown, the cornerback, the rookie out of Texas El Paso. While they check on him, we'll check in with James Brown in New York.
All right, Greg and Dan, and what we'll find is that Drew Brees throwing his third touchdown of the game. Take a look here as he throws this toward the end zone. Marcus Colston tips it. Lance Moore right there to haul it in. 15-yard strike. 11 plays, 80 yards. All knotted. 20 for all in the fourth in Baltimore. Greg and Dan.
JB, I'm sure that's just like they drew it up on the chalkboard.
Lance Moore didn't have a whole lot of football field to work with there, did he? You know, that's when it's really amazing, the athleticism of some of these guys.
First down, Jacksonville at the Indianapolis 49. Garrard on the run and throws it away.
Well, credit Dwight Freeney. He just collapsed. He just collapsed Eugene Monroe, number 75. I don't think David Garrard was planning to leave the pocket. Watch this. This is a bull rush. That is when you just get under a guy and run him back. David Garrard, that was not a rollout. He left the pocket because the pocket disappeared because of that guy. You know, when a guy can spin on you and you got nothing but air, and then he turns around and comes with nothing but power, that's a lethal combination.
2nd and 10. For Jennings out of the backfield. Can't elude the first tackler at the 45-yard line. That's Tywan Hagler.
Well, Tywan Hagler getting extra playing time because Clint Session, the starting linebacker on that side, again not playing because of injury.
3rd and 6, and here come the fans. That's complete to Mike Thomas, but Thomas can't find first down yardage.
Oh, and David Garrard, did he do something to his throwing hand?
Gets up shaking that right hand.
And grimacing.
And again, here's Dwight Freeney working on Monroe. There's the spin back to the inside. Oh, he hit him on his helmet. He hit that hand on Freeney's helmet.
Fourth and 2.
Dwight Freeney is lighting up Eugene Monroe.
Garrard going to throw for it. Penalty markers down. Garrard running for it. Now it has a first down, but let's check the flag. Thrown by Mike Carey.
Chop block, offense, personal foul. Number 33 went low on the defender when he was engaged with another player. 15-yard penalty.
Chop block is going to be called on Greg Jones, number 33.
Well, again, you cannot block low on someone who's engaged with someone else. There's Jones, number 33, on the right-hand side, and you can see he goes right in. Jordan Black, his tackle, I believe, is Robert Mathis. And you can see Jones went in below the waist. That is a player safety issue, and what a monster penalty. And Jacksonville has to punt this away.
On 4 and 17. Still 7:27 to play here in the fourth quarter.
You can hit that guy while he's engaged, but it's got to be up above the waist.
Blair White back at his own 10-yard line for the kick. Fair catch call for it. He's going to let it bounce. And they're going to save it inside the 5-yard line.
Is that Osgood?
Kasim Osgood batted it back, and it was downed by Montel Owens. And Peyton Manning will start from his own 2 when we come back. David Garrard still flexing that right hand. We thought it bounced off of Dwight Freeney's helmet, but our stealth master, Mark Wolf, our producer, says, no, it's Freeney's hand.
Yeah, from behind, it looked like it hit his helmet on the follow-through, but you can see right there, it hit his left hand.
Here's Donald Brown getting out of his end zone just barely and back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Clock moving, 6:50 to play in the fourth.
So that's the important part. The clock is moving. What a play by Kasim Osgood to back the Colts up against their goal line. That's why he got voted to 3 Pro Bowls when he was in San Diego as a special teams player.
2nd and 10. Brown again. Out to about 5. Here's that special teams play.
Well, 2 things here. First of all, Osgood, watch him establish his feet. Right here, he stops, makes sure he's in the field of play, because if one of his feet would have been on the goal line, it wouldn't have counted. And then he gets up in the air, elevates, and swats it back out. That is just superlative special teams play.
And now a big 3rd and 7 on both sides of the ball here. As we duck under 6 minutes to play in regulation.
Well, the Colts love to throw the little slant.
Manning, sprint to the left side, complete, out to the 15-yard line to Reggie Wayne for a first down.
And Peyton Manning channeling his inner Michael Vick, rolling out of there. Not only that, but rolling to his left. Peyton didn't like that call. Again, a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left. You can see it completely surprised the Jacksonville defense.
New set of downs for Peyton now at the 15.
And what did Jack Del Rio say about Peyton Manning? He's been a pain in my rear end for a long time.
Rhodes for 2 and out of bounds at the 17.
Thought I'd clean that up a little bit.
Did a fine job.
But he's right. I mean, he's talking, he goes, we won 12 games one year, couldn't even win our division. And it doesn't matter what kind of a year you're having. You look up and all of a sudden the Colts are 10-0, 12-0. And the Colts now finding themselves in a dogfight in December for the first time in a while. And so far this game, they have responded pretty darn well.
This is the second drive that began inside their own 10-yard line today. The first one, they went 92 yards for a touchdown. On 2nd and 7. Keep it on the ground with Dominique Rhodes. The clock continues to move.
Well, Jacksonville you don't hear this every day where they're just daring Manning to throw, but they are really overplaying the run at the line of scrimmage. Now this is a situation where Manning should really milk the play clock. And he got everybody up to the line of scrimmage. He wants to make sure Jacksonville can't substitute. But he has no intention of snapping this until he gets down inside 5 seconds.
We're coming up on 3.5 to play here in the fourth. 3rd and 8. Rhodes. 2 yards short of a first down. And timeout is called to stop the clock. 3.5 on the nose to play in the fourth. Jacksonville down 10.
Start your day in a big way.
Tackle new breakfast melts at Subway. Try the mouth-watering Sunrise Subway Melt or the tasty breakfast BMT, fresh toasted on flatbread. Come build yours starting at 7 a.m.
Subway, build your better breakfast.
Catch the Big Bang Theory, Thursday, only CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL. And by Subway. Get ready for meltastic flavor with Subway Melt, like the new Chipotle chicken and cheese fresh toasted on flatbread.
3:31 to play. Austin Collie has returned to the sideline. He's sitting there, but lost for the rest of this day to a concussion suffered late in the first half. Maurice Jones-Drew itching for the opportunity to get back on the field. McAfee to kick on 4th and 1. Mike Thomas, who has returned to punt 78 yards for a touchdown, is deep. Looks like he can return this one too. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Good field position for Jacksonville's offense. From TV's #1 comedy to the #1 new comedy, the #1 news magazine, the #1 news show, and the #1 drama on television. Thanks for making CBS America's #1 network.
Keep in mind, Jacksonville now down by 10 points. They've got good field position, but they've only got 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they had to burn a timeout 14 seconds into the second half here.
I was here for that.
Yes, you were, and I'm pretty sure they'd like to have that one on account, and they do not.
51 yards away from pay dirt, down 10. Garrard for Jennings out of the backfield. Dances his way past 1 and 2 and down inside the 30, close to the 25-yard line. Jacksonville desperately wanting a win here today to claim the AFC South Championship. Indianapolis just as desperately trying to hold off if they can win here and then win against Oakland and then finish off with another victory in Week 17. They win the AFC South.
Well, Rashad Jennings came up with a big game last week in that win over Oakland as he rushed for over 100 yards. That was a monster play.
From the 26-yard line. Garrard throwing far side of the field and got his man Mercedes Lewis out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Well, Mercedes Lewis has scored 9 touchdowns on the year. He's quickly becoming a favorite go-to guy for David Garrard. And again, he just gets away from Cornelius Brown, the rookie. That was no contest.
Meanwhile, the Jaguars have quickly moved from their own 49 to the Indianapolis 15. First down. Garrard over the middle. That's complete to Lewis. And Lewis fights his way to the 5-yard line.
Well, this is one of the things that Jack Del Rio admires about this group of his, that they don't quit. They don't get discouraged even when they're behind. They don't lose confidence.
Ask the Oakland Raiders about that last week.
And look how close they are to getting right back in this thing.
They are very close to, but not quite. Let's see, they're going to measure for a first down now. Missed it by that much. Second and inches.
After the measurement, the clock starts to run again. Jacksonville's wasting some time here. Get up there and get set.
Gerard going to keep it and push his way about the 1.5-yard line for a first and goal. And we're under 2.5 to play.
Indianapolis looked like they were surprised by that quarterback sneak. They shouldn't have been. Gerard has already run it today to pick up a first down, and it's a Jacksonville staple.
Jennings in the backfield with Gerard. First and goal. Throwing for it, and incomplete at the 1. It bounces its way to Mike Thomas. Stops the clock with 2:04 to play. Maurice Jones-Drew watching from the sideline. Jack Del Rio, again, one of the first things he said to us last night, we expected to be in this type of situation. Second and goal. We're looking right at a 2-minute warning. Gerard rolls, throws, incomplete. Intended for Sims Walker, and Justin Tryon was there to break it up. 1:59 on the clock as we reach the 2-minute warning. Jacksonville looking for a 10-point rally in an AFC South championship. Indianapolis trying to say no way. We'll be back. No team in the National Football League scores more points in the last 2 minutes of the first and second halves than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Third and goal. Gerard handles the high snap, throws over the middle, touchdown to Mike Sims Walker.
Well, this is about to get mighty exciting here. This is about to get mighty exciting. An onside kick coming up.
Mike Sims Walker with his second touchdown catch of the day.
And again, Jack Del Rio sees his team fight back, fight through some adversity.
Scobie to make it a 3-point game. He does. 1:54 on the clock, and we have a penalty marker down.
Defense with 12 men on the field. The field that kept is good. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, 5 yards.
So here's the catch by Mike Sims Walker.
And again, look at that snap high and left. David Gerard does a nice job of corralling it. He's checking things out, but that snap took him by surprise, and that was a good job of fielding it cleanly. And look at that ball. It just went right through the arms of a Colt defender.
Those of you just joining us here in Indianapolis, just to recap for you, Austin Collie returned to the active roster today, caught 2 touchdown passes in the first half, but left late in the first half with a concussion. There he is sitting on the bench. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars were sparked by a 78-yard punt return by Mike Thomas in the first half, and then have come back to within 3 points here in the second.
Well, Jacksonville only has 1 timeout remaining, and we're on the other side of the 2-minute warning, so they really have no choice but to go for an onside kick. Now the question will be, will drive it down into the ground, have it pop up in the air, or do you try the little pooch over the top, or do you do the one where the kicker kicks it straight ahead and tries to recover it himself? Options are available here. And also keep in mind, Josh Scobie has a 59-yard field goal to his credit earlier this season against the Colts. So he has got some range.
Does not count. And was a timeout called?
Timeout. Indianapolis, their first 32nd timeout.
So Jim Caldwell, it appeared, called a timeout quickly just before the kick happened. And welcome to those of you who just joined us here at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf with you. Jacksonville with a win would clinch the AFC South here today. Indy needs 3 straight wins to close out the season to claim the division title. And right now the Colts with a 27-24 lead with 1:54 to play, and close finishes are nothing new. And still more of you joining us here in Indianapolis. Welcome. Jack Del Rio has seen his Jacksonville Jaguars pulled it within 3 and are trying to execute the onside kick.
Well, I talked about 3 options. We saw them try to execute the one where the kicker was going to try to recover it himself. They had to go back over and regroup because of that Colts timeout. You got to wonder if they'll come back and try the exact same one again, or if they'll go to a different option.
Scobie rolls it along the ground, picked up by the Colts. This is a Taiwan Hagler touchdown.
First of all, an onside kick has to travel 10 yards to be legal, and that wasn't even close. It didn't. I'm not sure it ever would have traveled 10 yards. Scobie kicks that thing. There it crosses 5, and at about
6 yards out.
About 6 yards out, a one-hopper right to Hagler.
Hagler took it 41 yards, and the Colt lead is back up to 10.
Well, that first timeout taken by the Colts really was a tough break for Jacksonville, because that first onside kick that they attempted, where Scobie went right down the middle, that looked to me like something that they may have had a pretty decent chance of recovering. But you've just got, Scobie had to get that on a little deeper of an angle, so it had a chance of covering 10 yards. Let's go ahead and take one more look at it. And again, you can see that everyone from Jacksonville playing the football and didn't anticipate it not being driven any deeper than it was.
And that's about as emotional as Coach Caldwell gets.
There's a wry smile by Peyton Manning.
And a disappointed David Garrard.
And I'm sure a very, very disappointed Josh Scobie. Unhappy with the quality of that onside kick.
Jason Hill is back at his own 5-yard line to return this kick. McAfee kicks it away. And Hill will run it from 2 yards deep in his own end zone. 20. Almost broke it up the sideline and out of bounds about the 30-yard line. The rest of the season looks like this for Jacksonville. They will host Washington next week and finish on the road against divisional rival Houston. Indy goes to Oakland. Dan and I will be there for that game next Sunday, and then we'll come back home to host divisional rival Tennessee. Jacksonville down to one timeout, down 10 points, and a minute 42 to play. Garrard, short pop, complete to Jennings, and Jennings spins across the 40 to about the 41 for a first down. Minute and a half to play. Short pass, penalty markers are down as Jennings carries to about the 45. And the clock will stop with 69 seconds to play as we hear from Mike Carey.
Holding, offense number 78, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, as many times as these teams play, Dan, it's never a laugher.
No, never. In fact, I think we said at the very top that neither one of these teams ever seems to be able to run away and hide from the other. And right up until the point that Hagler returned that onside kick for a touchdown, this was a nail-biter. But again, you know, Jack Del Rio on the one hand has to be proud of his team for fighting back, but the Jaguars came into this game with a chance to deal a death blow to the Indianapolis Colts, and they weren't able to do it.
The screen to the far side, Jennings pulled down at the 37-yard line by Jacob Lacey. The Jacksonville Jaguars have never swept the Colts in a season series, and they're not going to do it this year either. Garrard under pressure, got rid of it. Jennings again, and Jennings to the 43, and they're going to use their final timeout to stop the clock with 39 seconds.
Well, as a football team, that's everything you hope for, to have it in your hand, in your grasp, the opportunity to play a game, and if you win that game, you win your division, and you guarantee yourself a spot in the playoffs. And the Jacksonville Jaguars were at that precipice and unable to close the deal.
A reminder, coming up next, the New York Jets trying to find some offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are trying to find some offense. Jets in Pittsburgh coming up. Meanwhile, Tim Tebow getting the start at quarterback for the Denver Broncos as they take on the Oakland Raiders this season. More people watch the NFL on CBS than any other network. Long one over the middle. Oh, what a catch inside the 35 by Jason Hill for a first down. 30 seconds and counting. First down for the Jaguars. Down to 20 seconds, and Garrard spikes the ball and stops the clock. Kind of makes you like Jason Hill's future, doesn't it, Dan?
Oh, it certainly does, and they certainly like what they've got. Jason Hill, just things didn't work out in his career with the 49ers. He's sure as to why. That's a good job of holding on to the football after taking a big pop at the end of that play.
David Garrard has thrown for 277 yards on the day. On the move, still looking, throws for the end zone, incomplete. Off the hands of Antoine Bethea. 10 seconds to play.
Well, you touched on it. It's in front of the Colts now. If they win the remaining two games, they will be division champions one more time. And now going forward, I think a huge question mark is the physical condition of Austin Collie. And it's a question of, will he be able to play next week or after another concussion, a huge question mark.
Garrard throwing down the sideline. He's out of bounds. Incomplete. 3 seconds on the clock.
And this is, I can't imagine how disappointing a plane ride this is going to be back to Jacksonville for the Jaguars. But But again, we talked about the turnover issue for Jacksonville coming into this game, -10. And today they had 2 turnovers, and the Colts had none. You don't go on the road and lose the turnover battle very often and expect to beat a good football team.
Last play of this game, barring a penalty. That pass is complete to Mike Sims Walker. And the Jaguars are going to run out of time and run out of laterals. Indianapolis lives to fight another day. 34-24 the final. Coming up next, many of you will see the Jets and the Steelers. Others, the Broncos and the Raiders. Coming up, the Burger King update. We'll take you to New York for all of the scores and highlights after this.